Hello, my friends, and welcome to another reading video. All right, we are still working on our soft G's and our soft C's. If you're like, what? I don't remember what that is, Mrs. Sae-Wong. That's okay. We're going to talk about it again. Today, though, right here, right now, I want you all, give me your listening ears. I need you to make sure you are reading the words with me. Even if you're like, I got this piece of cake, I still want you practicing saying the words out loud. We need to see the words, say them, and hear them for us to be rock star readers and to learn all these new letter sounds. It's the only way we learn and get better and better. So, no matter what, make sure during this video you are saying everything out loud with me as I say it so that we are practicing together. So I know you are hearing it and saying it with me so that we are saying it correctly. Because if you're practicing it at home and you're not saying the word correctly, you're not actually practicing. Did you know that? Oh boy. So make sure you are saying it with me so that you are practicing it correctly. All right, my friends? Okay, soft C's, soft G's. What am I talking about? Remember, anytime we have a C and then it has an E right after it, instead of making the K sound, it makes the S sound. So celery. See, it's not calorie. What is calorie? That doesn't exist. This is celery. So it makes the S sound whenever there's an E right after that. An E or an I. Something to keep in the back of our mind. Same with our soft G's. Anytime we have a G and it has an E or an I right after it, it's going to be the soft G, the J, J. So what is this a picture of? Good, a giraffe. J, giraffe, not G. Nope, J. Okay, so when I'm talking about soft C's, it's where the C makes the S sound, and a soft G where it makes the J sound. Okay, let's practice some words together. Let's make it where we're not so shiny. I feel like I do this every time. Mrs. Sae-Wong should put like a mark on the floor so I know exactly where our computer or camera needs to be so we can see the words. Okay, let's start with our soft G's. So all of these G's are going to be the J sound because they have an E right after it. Anytime it's G-E or G-I, it's going to make the J sound. But look, we have a vowel in the middle of the word and an E at the end. So what do we know about that vowel? You're right, it's going to be the long vowel sound. It's going to make that long A sound because anytime there's an E at the very end of the word and there's a vowel in the middle, it makes the long vowel sound. So we know it's going to make the A sound, and we know this is going to make the J sound. So let's sound it out. W-A-J. Wage. All together. Wage. And when I'm breaking the words down, I want you to say each step with me. That way you become a better reader and you can sound out new words. Okay? Let's try the next one. So we know it's going to be the J sound because there's an E right after it. We know this is going to be that long A, again because of that E. These E's are kind of powerful. They're kind of an important letter, right? So we know it's going to be the A and the J sound. So let's sound it out. P-A-J. Page. Now all together. Page. And do you notice how Mrs. Sae-Wong breaks it down letter by letter? And then I start to clump or I start to smush those sounds together. That's how we read new words, okay? Let's try the next one. We know it's going to be a long A because of that E, and we know it's going to be the J because of the E after the G, okay? So we have A-J. Now let's do the R and the A together. Ray-J. All together. Rage. Good, my friends. Let's say these words all together. Ready? Wage, page, rage. What do we notice? What do we notice? You're right, they all rhyme. They all have the same ending sound. Wage, page, rage. Remember, rhyming sounds are not about how the word starts, it's how it ends. And if it ends with the same letters and the same sounds, they rhyme. All right, those are our soft G's. Let's try our soft C's now. Always a little bit shinier on this side. Okay, we know this is going to be a long A because of this E, and we know it's going to be the soft C, the S, because of the E. So let's put it all together. Ace. Ace. Good. Kind of like the Aces baseball, right? Okay, next one. We know it's going to be the long A because of that E. Hold on, One sec. There we go. Let's shine. Okay. So we know it's going to be the long A because of the E, and it's going to be that soft C because of that E right after the C. So it's going to be the A and the S. So let's put it all together. A, S. Lace. All together. Lace. Good. All right, last one. You know, it's going to be that long A because of the E, and it's going to be the soft C, the S, because of that E. So let's put it all together. So even when we have a lot of letters, if you're like, I'm not sure how to smush those sounds together, how to put those sounds together, that's okay. Let's do it one by one. So we have pa, a, s. Okay, so we've sounded it out. We've heard all those letter sounds. Now let's just try to clump the first two letters. Are you ready? Pull. So we have pa, pull, a, s. Now let's do these three letters together. Place. All together. Place. Yes, that's how we sound out new words. I want to start hearing all of you when we get stuck on new words. Sound it out. Chunk it. Break it down. Do whatever you have to do to hear each letter sound and then slowly smush them together. All right, let's say all these words together one more time. Ready? Lace. Oh, nope. Wrong word. Ace. Lace. Place. What do we notice? Are they rhyming again? Ace, lace, place. Yep. And look, if you look, ace is in every single word. So once we figured out ace, then all we had to do was figure out that beginning sound. So instead of ace, now we just added the L, so we have lace. And then all we had to do was add that P for place. And that is why sounding out words and recognizing the rhymes is so important, because it helps us read faster and quicker and become rock star readers, which you already are. You're all amazing. You know that. Your super smart brains just amaze me every day. But I know reading can be really hard and it can be really tricky. And there are a lot of rules we have to remember. That's why we practice it. Okay, friends, moving right along. Let's talk about our sight words. Ooh, sorry for the roller coaster. There we go. There we go, friends. All right. Say these words with me. Far. Give. To. And try. Disneyland is far away. And it makes me so sad. Far. I would give anything to be able to go to Disneyland right now. I'm on a Disneyland kick. I miss Disneyland. 2. I have not been to Disneyland too many times. I've only been once. 2. And try. Next time we go to Disneyland, I want to try all the rides. All right? Let's say them rapid fire. Ready? Far. Give. To. Try. Awesome, my friends. Make sure you are saying those sight words out loud with me. If you're like, oh gosh, I just watched Mrs. Sae-Wong and listened to her and I didn't say it, hit pause, rewind, practice the words with me. The only way we learn sight words is by memorizing them, by seeing them, saying them, and hearing them. Because sight words don't always follow the rules that we practice up here. That's why we call them sight words and why we have to memorize them, so that we just know on sight what they are, because we can't always sound them out. Kind of tricky, right? But you all are amazing. I'm going to switch to our other camera so we can talk about today's work. All right, friends, like a flash. Here is what we are going to work on today. We are going to be in our Unit 5 magazine. We're going to talk about our reading log. And we're going to talk about our sight words. So go ahead and hit pause. Go grab these 3 things, something to write with, and come on back when you are ready. All right, if you're back with me, hopefully you have these 3 books, something to write with, and you're ready to rock and roll. We're going to go ahead and start in our reading log this morning, or today, whenever you're watching our video. We're going to turn to the page that says My Retelling Reading Log. As a reminder, we're always going to read a new book every day. So you should be reading a new book every single day, either a book at home or a book on Raz Kids. You're going to write the title of the book. Then you're going to tell me what happened in the beginning, middle, and end. Okay? So in Chicken Little, in the beginning, Chicken Little thought the sky was falling. In the middle, he ran to tell the king. In the end, Foxy Loxy ate him. Okay? So you just tell me a little bit about what happened in the beginning, middle, and end of the story. I feel like we've talked about this quite a bit, telling our stories in order, what happened first, next, and then last. So this should seem familiar to you, but if you have questions, let me know. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about our sight words book. So we're going to open up to the first word for today. Whoop, sorry there. All right, we're going to open up our books to the word who. So go ahead and take a second, hit pause if you need to, open up your book to the word who. All right, if you need more time, definitely hit pause, take that time, but we're going to keep moving forward. Everybody say the word with me. Who? Read the sentence with me. Who is that man? Remember, we're writing it a couple times. And remember yesterday where we talked about in our journal how we needed to take the time to write neatly? I want you to take the time to write neatly on the lines too. So I don't want big, crazy letters. I want you to show me that you are super rock star, halfway through first grade writers, or almost ready for second grade, where you can show me how we can write neatly on the lines. Go through and find all of your who's, find all of them, and then cut out the letters and glue them in order. Then finally, you're going to draw a picture based on the sentence, who is that man? Let's go ahead and hit pause, work on the page who. Say this word over and over. This is one that if you sounded it out, it's not going to sound right. So what we were just talking about with our sight words, this is what I mean. We have to just teach our eyes and our brain to automatically know this is the word who, because we can't sound it out. It won't make sense if we sound it out. Okay, so hit pause, work on who. All right, if you're back with me, that tells me that you are all done with the word who. So let's turn the page. Now we are going to talk about the word am. Everybody say it with me, am. Read the sentence. I am happy. I'm always happy when I get to hang out with you all. Okay, practice writing the word am. Go through and find it. And then cut out these letters and glue them in order. It is important that we use our fingers not only to practice our scissor skills, but using our fingers to move our letters around helps our brain remember the word I promise. And then draw me that picture. So hit pause and work on the word am. All right, if you're back with me, that tells me you are all done with am. We're going to put our sight words book aside. Now, we're going to open up to our technology at work. Yesterday, during our small group time, we read the story, I Wonder. If you missed your small group time with us, that's okay. Sit down and read the story with mom and dad, or grandma and grandpa, or big brothers and sisters, just so you can read it and practice finding all of the soft G's, all the G's that say ja, ja. All right? But now we're going to turn the page. And today, we're not going to do anything with page 26. Today, we're not going to work on this page, and that's okay. Sometimes we skip them in our books. We're just going to jump right to page 27, where we are practicing those soft C's and soft G's. So, I know this isn't the first time we've done this page, but just so everybody remembers what we're doing, I am going to tell you the word, and you are going to write each letter in the box that you're hearing. This is going to tell me if you are hearing all of the letter sounds in each word. Okay? So the very first picture, I know it could be a lot of things, right? It could be a boy, it could be a kid, but actually the word I want you to write with this picture is the word face. So everybody think about, what letters do I hear in the word face? F-A-S. And I want you to take the time to write it down. Hit pause if you need some time to think about it. All right, I'm going to move on to number 2. Always hit pause if I'm going too fast. The next word we're going to write down together is the word cage. Think about that. K-A-J. What letters do I hear in the word cage? Write it down, think about it, hit pause if you need to. All right, for number 3, let's listen to the word. I know there's no picture, so it makes it harder. That's why we have to listen. Are you ready? Trace. I like to trace my letters. Listen to the word one more time. Trace. Okay, number 4. Hit pause if you need more time on number 3. Number 4, ready, is the word range. Say it with me. Range. The cattle like to walk in the open range. All right, and number 5. Hit pause if you need more time up here. Always, always, always take your time. Number 5, I'm going to give you an entire sentence. I want you to listen to me say the sentence all the way through, and then I'm going to read it. I'm going to say it a couple times so that you can hear all of the letters. Ready? Grace will dance on stage. Okay, listen to that one more time. Grace will dance on stage. Okay, so I'm going to read it again in just a second, but I want you to think about a couple of things. Think about how we start a sentence. Think about what we put at the end of our sentence. Those are important too. Then I want you to do your best to listen to all the words. So the one thing I want to say is, I know you probably have family sitting there helping you, give you some hints, give you some answers. But right now, I want you to do this all on your own. And it's not about whether it's right or it's perfect. I need to know what your super smart brains are hearing and thinking. So if there's anything that we're not hearing, I know that we can practice that together. Okay? So let me say the sentence one more time. Grace will dance on stage. Okay? So if you are feeling like you still haven't heard the whole sentence, just rewind this video as much as you need to hear me say it over and over. Once you're done filling out page 27, make sure you send me a picture in Seesaw. Okay? Now, we are going to go back and read the story Technology Breakdown. All right, as we read Technology Breakdown today, we're gonna think about verbs. And if you're like, oh my gosh, Mrs. Sae-Wong, I remember talking about verbs, but it was like a bajillion years ago or maybe a few months ago. I know we haven't talked about verbs in a little while, so let's refresh our memory so we all know what I'm talking about. Remember, a verb is an action word, so it is something that you do. So these are some examples. The word run is a verb because we run. Throw, as we throw that ball, that's something we're doing. Ride our bicycles or our scooters or our skates. So a verb is that action word. It is something we are doing. But what we're going to talk about today are shades of meaning. And you're like, what is that, Mrs. Sae-Wong? That means that verbs that are different can kind of mean the same thing, but they give us a different picture in our mind. So think about if we read, the girl went outside for a run. We just think about a girl who went outside and she was running, right? But what if we use the word sprint? The girl had to sprint away from the bear. Well, think about it. If the girl had to run away from the bear, okay, she's running. But if she had to sprint, we know she's running as fast as she can, right? How about if the girl was sad, so she cried? We can see a little tear and, oh, she's sad. But what if we said the girl was so sad she sobbed, where she's crying and tears are just falling and she is loud and can't breathe because she's crying so hard. So there's a difference between cry and sob. Okay? Or how about if we say something like, I've asked you to clean your room, Mom said, clean your room, or Mom cried, clean your room. The one time Mom just said it, she's being patient. The next time she said it, she's not so patient anymore, right? So the first time, Mom's being nice, she's just saying, clean your room. And the next time, it's almost like she's yelling, clean your room. So when we hear verbs, depending on the verb that is used, it gives us a different picture in our brain. Those verbs help us read stories so that we understand if somebody's happy or sad, or if there's a good thing happening or a bad thing happening. Okay? So verbs are those action words. They tell us what's happening. And depending on what verb or what action word we use, we know if the story is good or bad, happy or sad, if there's a bear chasing a girl and she's just running, or if she's sprinting for her life. Okay? All right. Now that we talked about verbs and we've refreshed our super smart brains on what a verb is, let's go back to technology breakdown. We're going to read the story again, and then we're going to go through and look at some verbs on one of the pages to see if we can figure out in our brain how that word helps us picture what's happening in the story. Technology breakdown, Super Dad. Today, I'm at work with Dad. Phones are ringing, email is dinging, and screens everywhere are bing, bing, binging. The noise in here is driving me mad. But for my dad, all that high-tech clatter does not matter. Let me get a little closer here. I just realized I was super far away. There we go. He stays calm when things go wrong. He keeps things running all day long. Things break down here every day. I have to fix them right away. That's why I said Super Dad. A worker cries, help me quick. My printer's on the blink. What can I do? I haven't got a clue. Dad looks and thinks, and then he says, I see that your printer's on the blink. I'll fix it quick. It's out of ink. Another worker cries, help me quick. My email's full. What can I do? I haven't got a clue. Dad looks and thinks, and then he says, don't worry, I'll delete some for you. That is all you need to do. This dad is like Super Dad. We could use this dad all the time with our technology troubles. Another worker cries, help me quick. My video call's blurry. What can I do? I haven't got a clue. Dad looks and thinks, and then he says, it's blurry indeed. I'll have to boost your internet speed. Technology problems go all day long, but my dad always finds out what is wrong. The boss says, thank you, you're the best. Now go on home and get some rest. We leave the office to a setting sun. I say, thank you, Dad, that sure was fun. I can't believe all the work you've done. I love this story because dads are kind of amazing anyways, and this is like a super dad, and I could borrow this dad all the time to fix our computer problems. So I love this story. But we are going to just talk about some verbs and some shades of meaning. We're going to focus on this page only because we all know what it's like to have a blurry computer screen, or have our internet not work, or our computer just dies and we don't know what's happening. So we're going to focus on just one word today, and that word is going to be the word cries. So when we say somebody cries, we usually think like somebody has tears coming out of their eyes, right? I'm so sad. My brother ate my cookie and I'm going to cry, right? Well, it has a different meaning. That is the one way that we can use the word cries. But when we also use it as a way to say somebody is yelling, or, oh my gosh, somebody's upset. So think about how I read this. Another worker cries, help me quick, my video call's blurry. What can I do? I haven't got a So he's yelling, but he's not just yelling because he's angry. He's yelling because he's upset and he's panicking and he doesn't know what to do and what's happening. Oh no. So when we see that word cries, oops, you can't see it, cries, we have to think about, are we talking about, is the person crying, oh, Mrs. Sae-Wong can't see me? Don't ever cry about that. We will fix it. Or is it, help, I cannot see my video screen. So he's crying, he's upset. He's crying out for help. So in this context, this verb, cries, is actually another way of saying yelling. But instead of saying yelling, because when we hear the word yell, we're like, my video screen is not working. Oh, I hit my table a little too hard. It's not working, right? We're yelling because we're mad. But that's not this person. He's not yelling because he's mad. He's yelling because he's worried. So we use that verb cries when we're yelling, but we're worried. We're panicking. We don't know what to do. And those are the verbs or the shades of verbs that we have to think about. We could say yelled, but then we're going to think he's mad. And this worker's not mad. He's just upset. He doesn't know what to do. Oh my gosh. And so that's why we have to know what our verbs are and we have to think about what they mean because they help us give that picture in our brain of what's happening in the story. Okay? Nothing more on verbs right now. Maybe a little bit later this week. I just wanted to read the story again and I wanted to remind everybody what a verb was and why it matters. But that's it, my friends. So make sure when you are all done with your work that you send me pictures in Seesaw. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see your adorable faces later. Bye, my friends.